Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything amazing Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one and only Master Propaganda, the only sanctioned source of Companies 3 entertainment, off here to a 1v1 on Crossroads, straight here from the Master League. In the north, we got Barton fighting for the German army, Deutschland. Here with the 44th Reichsgrenadierdivision Hoch- und Deutschmeister. In the south stands Theodosios fighting for America, freedom, and liberty. Taking on the role here of the 1st Invasion, backed up elements of the 82nd Airborne into a double Pathfinder start here. As Spartan sets up the Pioneers ×2. Let us pop over to Barton. We got an early MD42 right after the Pioneers. Gonna focus more on capturing terrain and sort of holding up here with the MD42. Got those Pathfinders bringing westwards here as Theodosios rapidly advances. In the south, Pathfinders pushing southwards. Then we got the Rav squad almost done. Maschinengewehr out here for Barton und das Vaterland. Heading northwards with the Pioneers. So far, city capture. As always, a big hearty thanks to my patron supporters for the continued and generous support of the Propagandacast, allowing me to keep making all these videos on a daily basis. Grenadiers here for Barton. Maschinengewehr heading westwards. Pathfinders probing westwards as well. So far, just very quiet opening as both players looking to seize as much terrain as they can here on Crossroads. This version a bit bigger than the one in Companies 2. Thank heavens for that. That was definitely one of the major issues with the Crossroads in Companies 2. The map was just too small and cramped, I found. Rav squad bunch in the center here. Grenadiers ready there for Barton. No sign of a battle group yet. Maschinengewehr westwards. Pioneers as well. Pathfinders busy as well. All quiet so far. Just continued siege of terrain there. German troops at the ready. Grenadiers moving forwards. The average Grenadier squad was roughly 10 to 12 men. Generally, depending on which period of the war is the war, but of course, Grenadier squads and generally infantry squads in the German army got smaller and smaller to conserve manpower. So, little fun fact there. So typically 2 Grenadier squads in Companies 3 would be more like the equivalent actual Grenadier squad at the onset of the war. Pioneers pushing south here. Rav squad going straight here close to Barton's base. Theodosios rallying in here up north here. Maschinengewehr pushing in against the flanks here of Theodosios there. Almost got the fuel point right outside the base. Grenadier squad almost done. Far south here. Point seized for the Pioneers. Looks like the Pathfinders here being slowly pursued here by Barton. Theodosios using his Pathfinders thing to show, say, shadow them, but isn't engaging there. Go first shots fired here. Engaged here, that said. Grenadiers opening up here. Not great position for the Grenadiers out in the open, most unit heavy cover. This is definitely a winning engagement here, I think, for Theodosios. And not exactly a great look for Barton when that winning engagement is right outside of his own base. Pathfinders might now try and go for the car point here, exposing that Barton's center is wide open. The south here, Pathfinders about to have an encounter with the Pioneers. MP40s versus M1 Garand. Shots being fired here. Pioneers taking a few nasty hits here. Could see a drop here in casualties. There we go. In fact, one man is right about there. We go. Drops it. Big win there for Theodosios. Pioneers as the Rav squad here. Pathfinders here caught for 2. Barton narrowly saw through here. Theodosios moves. We got a 3rd Grenadier squad here for Barton. Still no sign of what battle group he's chosen though so far. If typical indicators are anything, he's probably going to go for mechanized, because typically you'd at this point already see that MP40 Grenadiers or maybe some Luftwaffe troops, though you could be going for this just for the LG40, but even then you typically then rush Panzer Grenadiers. You don't commit to like 3 Grenadier squads. And we got the officer quarters here for Barton. Also a bit rare then, unless you go for Breakthrough for the MP40 Grenadiers, though. You still see some players go for it even if they're not going for MP40 Grenadiers, but again, it is one of those things that sort of, raises an eyebrow then interest. Grenadiers pushing themselves into Rav squads there. Grenadiers basically here. Push forwards here by Barton's Grenadier. Or Reichsgrenadier in this case, of the 44th Reichsgrenadierdivision, which was an elite infantry division. Pioneers was the Rav squad here, and there you go. Veterans 1 done. Rav squad push back. Ravman push back. Southside here, Pathfinders busy. Map sort of 50-50 split. Still on the son of battle group here though. We got flame for some of Barton's Pioneers. And we do in the end get Breakthrough. Bit late here, which also means like his MP40s are a bit delayed, which typically you want them out fast. Not impossible, of course, that Barton didn't quite go into this right away with, assault grenadiers in mind, but typically you want like go be clear on that one, I find. Back in Theodosios' base, we got the Weapon Support Center and a Mechanized Support Center. both quite interesting choices here from Theodosios, in particular when he's going for Airborne. Very interesting combo here from Theodosios, and could certainly throw Barton off a bit, because typically very few players go for the mechanized support, and certainly not if they're going for Airborne. Plus the weapon support. And we got a mortar out there for Barton here. A Granatenwerfer. Back to Theodosios. With his Airborne, no paratroopers yet. He's got 3 Valve Squads and 2 Pathfinders. That is all. So there might be something else on the way here. And what could be cooking? It is the M16 multiple gun motor carriage. It is the Kraut Mower, the quad carriage. This is about to get very uncomfortable for Barton, who currently has no anti-tank weapons. Most can like master some Pantherfass, and the White Phosphorus round is an MG42, but otherwise Barton is going to be fairly exposed here to Theodosios, who by the way snuck all the way up here, heading the northern fuel point behind Barton's back. We do have the first MP4 grenades out here for Barton and the German army. Skirmishing in the east here, I imagine more MP4s on the way there for Barton's frontline Truppen. Of course, be wrong, no tech yet, so he will be completely vulnerable here to the M16. Mortar at it, Veteran 1, of course, thanks to the officer quarters, which also unlocks flares for it. And he's being swamped here by Rifleman Pathfinders. They're pushing forth for freedom and liberty. In the west here, Grenadiers with M16 support there. Pretty much everything's going to collapse here. Barton's left flank, as he is certainly not ready for the M16. It looks like he's going to pull back to more defensible position and still try to hold off the M16. Bold move by Barton. Bold. And we got Theodosios with a mortar of his own in response, I imagine, to Barton's mortar, but also Barton's machine guns. Got the grenadiers out there, we got the punch guns up here for Barton. I'm expecting a Pack 40 as a fast counter to the M16. Yes, indeed, the Panzer Abwehrkanone 40. Grenadiers pushed back here, mortar blasting away. Mortar fired down close to the Pathfinders. Got Punnies flanking back. Could Barton go up here on Theodosios' Pathfinders in the early game. West side here, skirmish continues. Drive squad to force back. Here's Pioneers close in. The set the Pioneers are fairly low in health. We don't have any like medical station upgrade. The Pack 40 though is almost only for Barton. M16 inching forwards here. Machine gun could fire back, but it is itself getting bombarded now by Theodosios' M1 mortar. Engineers only for Theodosios. Very good idea for his half track. Of course, minesweepers are laying down mines. Machine gun there definitely needs to vacate the premises before the premises collapse on them. Down to very little health in the machine gun crew here. Some in fact down to just 3 health. So very necessary for Barton to evacuate the premises before they explode. M16 pushing forward, and it's just going at the Grenadiers. Barton's men there, currently behind heavy cover there, waiting for something to bail them out or in order to retreat. Got the Pack 40 here, and that may just bail them out here against Theodosios so far. Rapid mechanized advance, and there you go. Great shot from the Pack 40 Grenadiers, rushing down the Rifleman. M16 forced away here. Meanwhile, in the west, Theodosios and the 1st Infantry Division is making steady progress into the western fields, threatening near Barton's resources. Thumbs up to Theodosios. That said, Barton is sort of doing the same thing in the east. Back in reinforcement, we got the healing up here for Barton and Deutschland. In the west, Grenadiers closing in, swiftly rushing through here the fields. Going for the rifle nearby the field point, closing in with MP40s that cannot take capable of action rifles. Theodosios really left with only one option there in the face of that, and that is to retreat. Unable to really compete with that much firepower. We do get the BARs now on the way of Fort Theodosios, certainly a good upgrade to have, in particular as the MP40 Grenadiers. In fact, it's kind of vital, or the Grenadiers will almost always, I think, win every engagement.
A munitions point is being attacked.
So fresh push up the center, and we got Barton with a surprise 2nd Granatenwerfer. That is highly unusual for a Wehrmacht player. Like, typically it's only like, USF players who goes for double mortars, but to see a Wehrmacht player is quite interesting here. Quite interesting. That's a small mortar battery to support Barton and the 44th Reichsgrenadier Division Hoch- und Deutschmeister. Mortar fire there in the south here. We got the Granite Riot Squad trapped in the Pioneers here. Mortar there being hammered by German mortar grenadiers. Sort here the Riot Squad, the Pathfinders. These Pathfinders are away. The losses are crucial and cruel as several Pathfinders are absolutely torn limb from limb by the sheer number of Stielhandgranate. North here Grenadiers ground the carve point. Barton there swinging back hard against Theodosios. Not giving much room here to buy time. Anti-tank to be airdropped here for Theodosios, and he does so immediately, calling it in. Meanwhile, Barton there lining up the support elements, going to be going for Stooks. Typically a common part of most Breakthrough MP40 Grenadier builds. They'll go for a bunch of Stooks to back up. They typically tend to work quite well together. The sort of really notable element here of Barton's build, though, is the double mortars. Very unusual, but very interesting. But yeah, very unusual. Crossroads then bombarded here by the mortars. They're collapsing under repeated German mortar fire. Rascal threatening flank here with the Pathfinder as well there. M16 crashing through the fence of the west, backed up in units. The Pathfinders Grenadiers holding out here, but they are themselves being targeted by violent American firepower here. Grenadiers pushing up. East side here, the line holds somewhat. For how much longer can the line hold? Theodosios there pressuring up here. We got one Grenadier going force ready. We got the German mortar crew there. White, at least forced withdraw here. Good kill there for Theodosios. Of course, there's still another mortar. Me on the west side here, Barton keeps probing and pressuring Theodosios' left side, rapidly folding in here like a poker player who realized he's gone in too deep. And he's got a really terrible hand. Mortar there dropped in base. Nothing further here from Barton, though he can go for the Stug 3G now. The Sturmgeschütze 3 Ausführung G. This is the early model. Whilst going hit by mortar fire. Barton's also recruit the other Granatenwerfer. Sturmgeschütz S on the way. Good. Straight for the Carpon. M1 maintain the remaining reserve here. Obviously, not much incentive for Theodosios to commit the anti-tank gun until something can shoot it arrives. So not with this many MP40 Grenadiers walking about. Committing the anti-tank gun too quickly could actually secure Barton and easy steal there. And leave Theodosios in a really bad place. M16 there on the move again. I'd kind of forgotten about it, but clearly it needed a bit of repairs there. We'll of course have to see what Theodosios' next move, but considering everything, and considering the typical airborne builds at the moment, it is likely he's going to be going straight for the tank depot next here versus Barton. Push for the Shermans. We might even see 76mm Shermans, considering he's gone for mechanized. Which would be quite nice to see there. Grenadiers running straight into the BAR fire here. We got poured on them from Theodosios' men, spraying the krauts with good old American lead. Panzer Kanone desperately trying to get back here. Sturmgeschütz moving forwards, adding the Pinelman machine Gewehr there for extra anti-infantry damage. Grenadiers closing in. Stug moving forwards. Would certainly benefit from the officer quarters here to get it Veterans 1, by the way. That would do Barton a lot of good. There you go. M1 there shoots, bounces off the Stug's armor. Second shot does not. North here, Ralph scored probing at the western victory point. Here we got 481 to 1543 so far, though Barton is leading in quite strongly. Those MP40 Grenadiers are definitely doing some heavy lifting here for Barton and Das Vaterland. North here, MD42 heading northwards there. Centre we got the M16 force here for Theodosios. Back here, troop reinforcing healing for Theodosios and the 1st Infantry Division. Sturmgeschütz 3 Ausführung G there, good to go again. And we got Panzergrenadier now rank support here, the 44th. Something a bit more heavily equipped here. Barton so far overall looking like a strong position. Theodosios definitely struggling a bit here now. Perhaps the mortars aren't proving to be quite helpful here. But also just the Shino over MP40 Grenadiers up north here. Truce court here. Theodosios immediately retreats, realizing this battle would just be a complete waste of manpower. A brutal loss of men he can ill afford to lose. Stug though charging in there, and we can see that Bob drops there, ripped apart by Stug machine gun fire here. Nears trying to grab that munitions point, but it's not looking like it's working out for them. They're not with the Stug coming straight at them. Center here, Panzergrenadier pushing forwards Pioneers, and so we got mortar firing down death here upon Theodosios' positions. Barton there looking to pound in Theodosios' skull here in the west, or east actually. Pioneers priority by the Ralph squad. M16 moving up here. catch the Grenadiers, but exposed. Meanwhile, Rav Squad's being hit by the Granadenwerfers. And we're back here to Theodosios. Rav Squad, they're being hammered. Pathfinders, the Pioneers. Panzers flanking up behind the Pathfinders. Good counter flank here. M60 up. We also got a 30 cal out here for Theodosios now. He could soon go for the tank. Oh, he can actually go for the tank depot now, if that is his plan. And that is exactly what it is. He actually builds the tank depot here. So, an interesting build order here from Theodosios. Weapon support center. On top of the barracks, but no motor pool. And then straight into the tank depot. Grenadier pushing down here close to the middle rope, but they are themselves exposed out there. We're getting focused down here by a lot of Theodosios men. I think Barton here would certainly greatly benefit from just retreating them, moving forward. Still no opposite quarters here from Barton. For that, maybe just doesn't think it's necessary. Hard to say, of course, what Barton is thinking. And these are the Rav squads. Closing in swiftly. Stug could also support here a bit of burst as well. And there you go, another grenade assault here. There you go, overwhelmed. And forced to withdraw here in the face of Theodosios. Fierce counter thrust here. Pack being hit by American mortar fire. German mortars remaining fairly far behind now for Baden. Second Sturmgeschützstraßengewehr arriving here to support the 44th Reichsgrenadier Division. Fun fact about Stugs, but they would typically organize into a variety of units depending, like, you know, where Stugs were needed. Like, you had the Stug batteries, you had the Stug brigade, which is larger, more mixed Stug formation for their own escort infantry, typically equipped with assault rifles. They could also be used in tank destroyer units, hell, even some heavy tank destroyer units towards the end of all the schwere Panzerjägerabteilungs with Jagdpanthers. We also then typically have like 2 companies of Stugs besides 1 company of Jagdpanthers. So Stugs definitely found themselves like pushed into a variety of roles and units, as they just like expect to like just do everything. So, little fun fact there. After them being blasted by the Stug 3G, we got airburst shells raining down Barton's western positions. Pack forward there, reinforcing healing. Grenadiers being forwards, mortars keep there, trying to hit some of Theodosios' stuff here. Interesting enough, I don't think we're seeing like any flares here from Barton, which could have caused alarms to like spot some of Theodosios' support guns more easily and then hit them. That could arguably no side. There go grenade here on some of Barton's mortar crews. Quite a bit of damage, but all of the mortar crew members do get, oh, except for Otto there, through it. Otto, of course, meanwhile, died. Push into the Rav squad, the Pathfinders. Quick grenade assault here. And he's around it. Sturmgeschütz the move there. One is a veteran to 1, the other is not. Far east here, Barton is making good progress there, gobbling up their Theodosios' right flank, snatching it up like it's cake left out in the open. Back here, reinforcing healing. Nothing further from Barton in terms of attack. As for Theodosios, no sign of Shermans yet, or tank destroyers. It's a bit quiet on the armored front from Theodosios, as Barton, of course, has the Sturmgeschütz. Battle group wise, we're also not seeing too much here from Theodosios at the moment. 269 versus 461. I mean, Barton continues to maintain a strong lead over Theodosios. Grenadiers continue to move out on the right flank, and there you go. M60 moving in here. No anti-tank support here for the troops. It definitely means they are previously exposed here to the rather machine gun heavy hand of Theodosios, and of course democracy. Going straight for the Grenadiers here. Stalks of wine there being absolutely shredded there. Of course, some Italians are going to be quite upset about that. Panzer taking losses here. Sherman on the way for Theodosios. Starting to bring in his own tanks to take on those goddamn crowds. Grenadiers being apart there, go grenades off in the Grenadier, forcing them away here. Panzer Grenadiers closing in here, but they also themselves being apart. It's just looking a bit rough here for Barton. He still has most of the map. Oh! And that's going to be a wipe here. Barton slipping through, and the result is a fully wiped Panzer Grenadier squad. Quite the loss here for Barton. Quite the kill for Theodosios. And we got 2 anti-tanks at the ready here. So far, they haven't really put one issue. We've got enough needle bear for Barton. Bring in a rocket artillery. quite interesting, and certainly combined with the mortars could be a problem there for Theodosios, because we could say just drop flares, find the target, then proceed to hit it with a needle rifle. That is a possibility here, though. So far, again, Barton, for whatever reason, does not seem to be big on flares. Sturmgeschütz coming up the center here, though, with limited imp support. We got machine crew here, though, caught in deadly fire here. Sherman on the flank here. M16 anti-tanks coming up as well. He looks like he might try and head around here, crashing into Barton's flank here. Like an unsupervised ice cream truck crashing into an orphanage. Mortar there firing away here. M16 anti-tank there, plus a Sherman. They're all on Overwatch. One mortar fire here. Back to Barton there. Go. Needle fire rain down here. Straight to the center there. Heading the mortar crew directly, causing quite a bit of damage here. Quite a bit of pain there for Theodosios. Engineers forced away here as Barton's men successfully moving to climb the center. From the Americans up north here, Pathfinders found no paths. Instead, they only found death. And the center there falling into the hands of the German infantry. Sherman falling back. Mortar here keeps blasting away here. Barton looking to just snuff out some Americans with good old-fashioned German light artillery. In fact, German mortar crews were noted for the training and experience. And in fact, I think in Normandy, most of the casualties inflicted on the Allied troops, I think, were from mortar fire. Fun fact. Fun fact.
You need a mortar crew.
No sign of taking for Barton. Perhaps he's hoping to stall out for the Tiger tank. Some players are big fans of the Tiger, and so in the right times it can be quite useful. That said, sometimes you just want to push his armor first to get more pressure versus the opponent. And of course he does have 2 Stoogs, so it's not like he is complete without armor here. Not one bit. One mortar fire on the anti-tank guns. Oh, we do have to get flares here from Barton. We do get flares. Thumbs up. Anti-tank crew there definitely suffering the suffering of 1,000 mortar bombs here. The crew just sort of like, in shock and all there as mortar fire just keeps ripping them apart there. Oh god, they got Joe! They got Bob! They got Bill! I'm the only one left! Ah! Sturmgeschütz getting about breaking the anti-tank, and here's the mortars are definitely proven to be, quite handy over Barton. Clearing out an anti-tank gun. We got here Theodosios, I imagine, dropping in more anti-tank guns. He could, of course, also airdrop in a paratrooper squad, but considering everything, my guess is on an anti-tank gun. Yes, indeed. Meanwhile, Nebula firing down here in Theodosios' forces. Rockets screaming through the skies there. As a fun side note, the Americans had a nickname for the Nebula's Moaning Mini. Gonna need to push up the eastern side here. One mortar fire, rather getting hit by those Granate in the Alphas. Sherman's heading out, and we can see that Theodosios has gone for the 76 upgrade here. Getting out a better and more improved gun that will certainly challenge most German tanks' frontal armor, and of course the Sturg, thanks to its higher velocity. That said, the gun itself is not popular with the most American gun crews because they actively had to mostly fight infantry, and the thing is, this gun actually had less powerful high explosive shells compared to the 75mm gun. Little fun side fact here. Mortar fire there, rain down back and forth. The American mortar being hit by German mortars here. Barton definitely looking to silence Theodosios' light artillery here to gain mortar supremacy. The course also has Nebula for anti-tank crews. They're taking hits from the Grenadier Alphas. Stu being pushed back. Still no tech for Barton. He is definitely Tiger bound. And looks like some of these anti-tank crews are definitely heaven bound. Sherman there, blasting the grenades. The cover won't last for that much longer against the might of the Sherman in the west side here. Machine gun moving forwards, and we got a machine gun bunker from Barton to cover the western victory point. Now there's a rarity there. Certainly on this map, considering everything, it kind of makes sense, but still, this is sort of like the first competitive match we've seen a machine gun bunker like this. Probably not, but this is one I remember immediately anyways. Pathfinder's being pushed back on Arden F4 here. One is actually 2. Very good. West side here, though. Theodosios there strikes an unsupported MD42 team here. Excellent hit here by Theodosios. Might even get a wipe here. We got the Blitzkrieg unlocked, of course. 3 commanders with the Tiger tank. Another wave of troops from Theodosios. We got 442 versus 203. Theodosios definitely lagging behind east side here. 30 cal ripping through Theodosios or Barton's Grenadiers. As for Bardson, yeah, he's definitely stalling out. He's going for another Pack 40 here. Honestly, I think he'll get away with going for another Stug around the Pack 40. I mean, he's got ample fuel, so it's not like he needs to save fuel. And the Stug would be more mobile anyways than the Pack 40s. I think another Stug here would serve Barton a bit more usefully. Of course, just me. There you go. M16 caught. Theodosios too caught up in things, so he's just unlucky. Oh, he might lose the half-track here unless he gets unlucky. He does not. The M16 there blows apart right before the engineer's eyes. The very thing supposed to work on is now just a burned out Hulk. Brabham pushing forward here, catching Barton's Stug and wiping it out here. Oh, Pack, not Stug, Pack. Destroying it. Good kill here. No additional sign yet here of the Theodosios, but he could go for another Sherman now. More Shermans would certainly be, I think, quite beneficial rather than goodbye to the Sturmgeschütze. Pack destroyed here. Theodosios returning that favor from early and wrecking Barton's anti-tank guns. Another Sherman there for Theodosios. Freedom, democracy, justice, and liberty. Grenadiers being absolutely murdered out in the open here. Pulverized. Sturmgeschütze pushing forwards. And we got another Niveau barrage here from Barton. Anti-tank crew being caught out in the open. Stug's pushing forwards, right into the anti-tank guns. Quite hectic fighting here. One Stug heavily damaged. Looks like Theodosios will score kill in the Sturmgeschütz. Little health left here. Pack 40 sitting up, but it's not sitting up at quite the right angle. Another great shot here from the Stug. But that's where that blitzkrieg ends, as the Stug is lit on fire here. 76mm Sherman cooks it up like a Christmas goose. There you go. Another 76mm Sherman out here for Theodosios. And the first division putting Barton into a much more precarious position. Far south, they're going to push him for the victory point. Probably as machine gun is going to try and go for deep flank instead. Gets spotted out in the open here. And is fairly quickly suppressed here. Barton still has the victory point lead. He's got another Stug out now. Center there, got the Sherman up here. Second Sherman laying up here for Patch. Will be a flank here around Barton's west flank here. Sherman get hit with a Pantherfaust, light damage here. Troops bring up the center machine gun there, setting up. But resets again. Airburst shells in there to cave in the skulls of the Grenadiers, as the helmets are definitely not rated for that. Down to 2 men on the healthy. Barton pushing forwards here. And we got the Sherman on the move here. Pack setting up the flank here. We got a rocket strike moving in here. There we go. Rocket strike misses the Stug, but the Shermans keep pouring in. We got the anti-tank on the flank here. Oh dear. This is looking pretty rough for Barton. Pushing in with the blitzkrieg against the Sherman. Almost got it. Anti-tank grenades off here. Second Stug kaput. That is looking pretty GG here for Barton. Pretty GG. Yup, game over. He is getting a bit salty. He was probably close to the Tiger tank, yeah, but again, like, you know, the kind of problem is, like, at times if you stall too much for the big tank, you leave yourself vulnerable to just getting hit with more tanks faster, more aggressive. That's kind of what happened here for Barton. Like, you know, he tried to stall up for the Tiger tank, and so he ended up wasting a lot of opportunity, which meant Theodosios could, like, make a really good push and then crush Barton. I don't know really what you need to talk about being back there. It didn't look anything like it was back to me, but oh well. Oh wait, GG there. Some nice bandful fighting, but again, Barton made that critical error of just trying to stall up for the Tiger tank without not enough units in the field. I would recommend it, taking out that, maybe pushing for some Panther 4s, even going for at least more Stugs. But again, Barton there got greedy, and that greed is something Theodosios saw through, and he just hit Barton hard there, crushing Barton and his dreams of winning this match. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. You'll learn something from it. Hope it gives you your own matches. If it did, you can subscribe, like, share, and comment. You can also support the Propagandacast by donating or pledging on Patreon. Links to the description. Every bit helps me keep making these videos. So thank you all, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye.